Everybody, what's up? This is Trey. I just wanted to make this video of my grandmother's funeral. She passed away September the 1st, 2017. And yeah, I know it's a couple of months later and I'm just not doing it. That's because I was grieving. So I had to take out my time to grieve, because every time I would try to go to do the video, I just couldn't do it. So here it is right here. But I wanted to make this tape for my grandmother because I loved her dearly. I was her namesake. My parents named me after her, so it gave us a real strong connection. I don't think my grandmother ever called me by my first name. I don't even think she knew what it was, because all she did was call me Moselle. That's all she did. Moselle, Moselle, Moselle. But she was very sweet, very kind, and I loved her to death. I just remember countless times of just being on the phone talking with her, laughing, and her joking with me and me joking with her. And she came down when I was 4. I lived in Baltimore, so she came from Florida to Baltimore, Maryland, and she spent time with me. And I remember one time my mama was washing my hair, and I was screaming to the top of my lungs because I didn't want to get my hair washed, and I was screaming for my grandmother, and she came in there and she held my hand, and everything was better. Everything was better because I was a little mischievous when I was a kid. So to get me to behave myself, I remember my grandmother said that she was going to use a switch, and it was going to be from Florida all the way to Baltimore, and it was going to be long, and it was going to reach all the way where I was, and she was going to spank my butt. So I remember as a kid, every time I would do something bad, I would always look up in the sky to make sure that switch wasn't getting ready to hit me. But I thought that for a long time when I was a kid, but it made me behave myself. But man, to lose my grandmother was devastating. I remember when my sister called me to let me know she passed away. She called me Skype, and that phone call stopped my heart. For real. She called me and was like, "Grandmother passed away." And my body just went limp. I went into a shock. She was talking, and all I heard was like ringing in my ear. And at that moment, nothing mattered. I just sat there and just was like, wow. Like, is this real? So I think the first stage of a person dying is denial. Because you don't want to really believe that they're gone, and then you learn to accept, and you go through the grieving process, and then you try to move on, try to take it day by day. So I never looked at the funeral tape until not long ago, and I had to deal with it. So I had to look at the picture so that I can make the video. And I think the thing that hurts the most about my grandmother's passing is that sometimes I forget that she's gone, and I go to call her, and the phone just ring, and I be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's gone. Remember, she's gone. So it makes me just bawl all over again. But what I have left is the memories. The memories is what I'll take with me for the rest of my life. So I'm going to throw you all to the tape.
Asking you, Lord God, to strengthen the family right now in the name of Jesus. So you said in your never leave us comfortless. You said you would be with us. You would be there for us in a time when we need you. They need you right now to strengthen them, oh Lord God, right now. Build them up where they're torn down and make them strong where they're weak, oh Lord God. Console their hearts and their minds in the name of Jesus. We pray, oh Lord God, that the service that we're about to render for Mother Harris, Lord God, we pray that we carry it out according to the plan that's been laid out, and help us to go through it, oh Lord God. Hold our hands as we go through the service today. And Father, we give you the glory, honor, and praise in Jesus' name.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Praise be to God. That is where.
Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be.
So this next clip right here that you're about to watch is the last time we walked through my grandmother's house after she passed away. So after we left her house, we wasn't going to be able to walk back through it again. So just looking at the video, as my nephew was videotaping, going back through her house brought a lot of memories that was just too much for me to deal with. I just couldn't deal with it. Looking at the room that I used to sleep in when I would go visit her, how we used to sit at the table and talk, and I'll be sitting on her lap and she'll be cooking for me. It was the last time we was going to ever be inside that house again. So here's that clip.